The mayor is what they call him, and it's entirely fitting. Not only is Alrick Butta Augustine a leader in his community, he's an advocate for the growth, health, and wellness of those all too frequently overlooked. Only 2 years after starting his run club, Keep It Run 100, Butta has been featured in a recent Nike documentary, hosted 2 5K runs, and has an average of 50 people running with him tri-weekly. It is with sheer excitement that I welcome Butta to the studio. Thank you for joining me, Butta.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh man, it's great to have you. I mean, as I mentioned, you have accomplished so much. But let's just start from the beginning. Like, why running?
I started running because, 2014, I had my daughter.
Yeah.
In the process of that, I started working multiple jobs, trying to provide for my family. You know, I lost track of working out. I've been an athlete my entire life.
Right.
You know, just working a lot, just not taking care of myself the way I should. Her mom is pregnant. I'm eating what she eats.
Right.
So I ended up picking up a little bit more weight than I was accustomed to having on me. So at the same time, one of my best friends was getting married. I was supposed to be in a wedding. I tried on my suit, it didn't fit, and I had about a month and a half, 2 months before the wedding, so they were like, you can either get a bigger size in your pants or you can lose the weight. So I started running as a way to just try to lose some weight.
Wow.
As I said, with having a kid on the way, it was free. I could do it any time of the day, whenever I wanted to, by myself.
Yep.
And I just developed a really strong like for it, you know, and for about 3 years, I just ran consistently about 3-4 miles. You know, the most I probably do was 7.
Okay.
And 2017, a friend of mine told me I was gonna do the LA Marathon, and I was like, "You're out of your mind." We trained for it.
Yeah.
March 2018, I ran my first LA Marathon, and a week after that, I started my run club.
That's amazing. Wow. So where did you come up with the name, Keep It Run 100?
Initially, when I started my run club, we were Front Runners LA.
Okay.
I started my run club just because my friends at the time, I was documenting what I was doing. My friends were always like, "Oh, I want to come run," and never, you know, they'd never show up.
Right.
But I posted like on Twitter and on Instagram, like, if I started a run club, would you come?
Okay.
So my first week I had about 7 to 8 people, you know, close friends of mine, they showed up. I just had to come up with a name, so I came up with Front Runners LA. It was easy, we were from LA,
Right.
Front Runners, it all tied in together.
Right.
It ended up taking off and becoming something I never even expected. With the growth of that, we were getting, so for the first month, we started growing, and after 3-4 months, we were getting 40, 50, 60.
Wow.
After a while, we're getting almost 100 people.
Wow.
And in that, people would, then people started talking about trademarking, licensing, things like that. And this was never anything I expected.
Right.
So when I went to try to trademark it, Front Runners was taken.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I couldn't have, it wasn't mine. But in the beginning of everything, I wanted to call it Keep It 100 because, like, it's just something that means so much to me. But I kept seeing that hashtagged on different runners, like pages and things like that. So I didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
Right.
I'm new, nobody knows me.
Right.
So, so when I couldn't trademark Front Runners, Keep It 100 was available. So
You just
I felt like it was God's way of telling me to come back to what you really wanted, you know.
That's right.
So
yeah, you got a word about it, so just go with it. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, I mean, you mentioned that you would post on your social media to try and get traction. Like, why do you think people supported you?
Like in LA, like I have a pretty strong following. Like I've been like involved in the city for a long time, just like from just hanging out, partying, whatever, just being around,
throwing parties,
being in parties. Right. Yeah. But like I've like my whole, like not even my whole adulthood, my whole life I've just been out. Like I've never been like a shelter kid or one who couldn't do whatever. I played all sports, basketball, you know, but it was all over the city, on the east side, the west side, wherever. I skated. I did so many just different things, just meet a bunch of just different people, and I'm not one to like burn bridges and make enemies, so I'm just cool with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
And so they were there to support you. Man, and especially with you doing something so great for health in general, it's like, well, why not? You know. So that's great. So why do you did 2 runs? Yeah. You recently hosted 2 runs, one in Crenshaw, and then one in Inglewood. That was powerful. By the way, I went to both of those. I am a part of the Run Club.
Yes, you are.
Thank goodness.
Thank you for supporting.
No, thank you, because it's definitely expanded my community, my network, and it's helped me focus on my health more on an individual basis, because the community is great, but now I actually am like, oh, I'm gonna run on my own too, just to stay fit and all that. So it's great.
I tell people, running is looked at as punishment growing up.
Yeah,
when you play basketball, football, whatever, when you get in trouble, you got to run sprints, you got to run suicides. But like now, as you get older in age, like you have to stay active to pretty much stay alive.
You do.
Absolutely. So you have to look at it differently. Cardio, just working out, period, helps in just combating just different illnesses that we could tend to suffer from as we get older.
Absolutely.
So I just want our community, my community, and just everyone to just get up and just be active and do something, whether it be walk 15 minutes a day or whatever. Right. Just get up and just do something.
What you can do, yeah. So speaking of our community, like, why do you think running is so important in underrepresented communities?
I'm from South Central. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, where I come from. Running is pretty much non-existent. So, for me to be somebody, for me to find love in it and bring it to my community has been huge. I never knew a marathon runner before 2017.
Wow.
So, so like now, and just going into that, the LA Marathon is this Sunday.
Yes.
I have pretty much 30 people running a marathon.
Right, that you are training, helping to train.
Exactly. It's about 15 of them's first time. So
wow.
Last year we had about 7 people out there. So for the numbers to grow as much as it has in a year has been amazing. But I just running, just activity in the urban community is just needed. There's so many other things that can detract you from just working out. Like from on a life's every day, you got to go to work, deal with your kids or whatever. So for me to have a space where people could come and just get motivated and uplifted and supported by people who look like them means a lot. It's only an hour and 20 minutes out of your day. So it's not, it's something that people look forward to now because you can get away from all the other stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So you were recently featured in a Nike documentary. Well, last year you were featured, but I think it's still something that's evergreen, that is still ever present. So it was called To Live and Go in LA. What inspired that? You were the only male in that, so tell us about that.
It was inspired by they were just highlighting, it was 4 runners.
Yes.
Sharing each individual stories. 2 of them weren't even from LA.
Okay.
So it was showing their run journeys, how they got to LA and were born to LA, and like how running has played a part in everything that they're doing.
Got it.
And my story is pretty much just me just being from the hood and taking running to a place that it's never been before.
Right.
It was an amazing experience. So thank you, Nike. Thank you for everybody. Thank you everybody involved.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate everything.
And you were recently featured, or I'd say featured, but spotlighted at one of the Staples Center Laker games, or Laker games at the Staples Center. And why do you think you are being selected for these opportunities? Why do you think people are gravitating to you?
I mean, I believe I have good energy, I was one of Nike's faces for the Black History campaign for LA. It was me and a young lady named Amanda. Shout out to her. But no, we shot the Black History campaign in New York.
Okay.
It was 12 people from all over the world: LA, Chicago, New York, Brazil, Toronto, the UK. So to be a part of that and to be chosen for that was like one of the highlights of my life. And for me to be chosen, I guess I'm doing right by some people, and God has put me in a place to just impact people, and I'm appreciative of all the opportunities I'm receiving.
Yeah, definitely. And you're making an impact. That's why they call you the mayor. So where did that nickname come from?
A friend of mine, his name is Cheese. So he'd always walk around calling me the mayor, and then I'll be like, man, stop, like chill out, like you playing.
I mean, are you that popular?
I am pretty popular. Okay. I'm not gonna turn that down. No.
Right.
I know a lot of people, and it's not even on like I said, I don't burn bridges. Like if I'm the type of person that if I meet you through somebody and I see you like 6 months down the line, I'm gonna say hi to you, but we're in a day and age where people don't speak to each other.
Right.
So like I try to just, like just be. My thing is just be nice to people.
Yes.
And I try to. I'm not here to try to make people like me, but I'm not. I don't do things to make people not like me.
Not
so
like you, yeah.
So like I said, I hang out. I do a lot of things to where people. I believe I have a gift.
Yeah.
I have the ability to get people together in large groups in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
So like, I could throw a party in 2 days and I have 400 people there. So it's just like,
and fire on the roof. And
that was
amazing birthday party, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I missed, but yeah.
It's coming back again in October.
Okay. Oh, good. I will be there.
So.
That's awesome. Well, it's great what you're doing in the community, and I think the mayor is very fitting for you. With the leadership role that you're willing to take and that you have taken on. That's great. And we need that example.
Yeah, I believe in, especially with like Kobe going, with Nipsey going, and in LA, someone has to carry the torch.
Right.
And I'm up for the task. Like in a lot of situations, people just tend to gravitate to whatever is like hot at the moment.
Right.
I don't want to say people don't want to lead, but it's kind of scary for some people to want to really take that step because people don't want to fail.
Right.
So I'm willing to be in the forefront and take whatever comes my way, and if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, we're just gonna figure out another way.
That's right. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, you were active in the community with the Run Club, but also you are a co-founder of an organization called We Raise Our Kids, and you also mentioned something about Fresh Start LA. Like, tell me about those programs and why it's important to you.
I'm gonna start with Fresh Start LA. So Fresh Start LA, me and some friends started in 2015.
Okay.
My house was broken into 2013, and it changed my views on a lot of things.
Okay.
I was big into tennis shoes, clothes, and things like that, and I realized that stuff, like material things, weren't important. We all have like those items where we look at it in our closet like, oh, I'm gonna wear this one more time, but never end up wearing it. Yeah. So those are things you kind of could give away, but you just choose not to.
Right.
So me and my friends, we created a Fresh Start, which is it's a shopping environment for underprivileged teens.
Okay.
So we'd rent out a spot and turn it into like a store. We'd get racks, hangers, we get donations from everybody, and because we talk to different group homes, different programs, and just get kids to come out and just come get free stuff.
Yes.
Because kids don't want stuff handed to them in bags and things like that. So we made it a cool experience to come and just come get some stuff, you know. And Rock, We Raise Our Kids, Rock, WROK. And so me and my business partner, we started just to show that there are real dads in the community, because dads get a negative light sometimes.
They do.
Fatherhood is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life.
That's amazing. Shout out to Ashton.
Shout out to Ashton.
Your baby.
Yeah. So it's a place where dads can come together, and just bring the kids together. That's the common bond, but and just kind of have a place where you can talk to people who are in the same situation as you. Some I have dad, like we do father-daughter dances, father-son brunches, picnics, things like that. I wanted dads to have let's say, I always use the example of like, in relationships, some wives, girlfriends may not want you to go hang with your homeboys or your friends because they may not be the most positive.
Right.
But if you tell her I'm gonna go hang out with the program or with Rock, she views it differently. So like,
absolutely.
I wanted to create a space where like dads could just come together and do bowling nights, or we go get a happy hour, or just do some things to just bring men together in a positive way.
Yeah. So that's wonderful, and I'm glad you take such pride in fatherhood.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, your daughter is at most of the events that are put on, and she's just a bundle of joy, and you share her on Instagram, brightens up my mornings, some days. And so to leave your job and commit full time to the Run Club, like, you are the bearer of such responsibility in your home. How did you make that choice?
It was tough. It was tough. I was working. I had a really, really good job. When the Run Club was taking off, they switched my schedule. So I ended up working nights, so I was missing Tuesday nights. So every Tuesday I would FaceTime in.
Yeah.
Like I make sure I take my lunch when it was time to run.
Right.
So I'm FaceTiming in, tapping in with the people, but I was missing what was going on. You know, like people would come and show up, and when I was off during the day, like I'd go to their jobs and like greet them and thank them for coming out and supporting, because I couldn't meet them in the evening.
At the club,
Yeah, so like, it was tough, but it was something I just felt like I had to do. Like it was, like I said, running was taking off. I was being, highlighted to do just different things in the run community and just do different events. And it was so many times that it was only so many times that I could call off work and come up with so many different lies just to get off. My grandmother passed away about 3 times, but it was just something I just felt I had to do, and it was the greatest decision of my life.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. And it seems like you have been getting the support and the traction. We did that beach cleanup with Complex Con, and I mean that was a great opportunity for the club to not only give back, but then you also were able to, maybe you talk about that, what you earned for the work that was put in.
Yeah, so with Complex, we did a beach cleanup. It was in November. Very, very, very exciting event. We went against another team. The winning team received $5,000, which we ended up winning.
Right.
But just to be able to do that and give back in other ways, it help clean up an area that, people don't really think to clean up. It's you go to the beach, you may leave whatever you leave out there, but and then while we're out there, we're seeing all type of crazy stuff out there. So it was a really good experience, and it's something I would love to continue going forward.
Absolutely. So how has you are a family person, how has your relationship with your mom and your experience as a father inspired you to kind of move forward in this walk?
My daughter is a driving force in everything. Like before her, I was just living. It's like so. She helped me kind of figure it out. Trying to get she helped me grow up. Yeah. So she's a big inspiration in everything. My mom, she supported everything I've ever done, but when I quit my job, she thought I was a crazy man. She was like, my mom coming from another generation. She's Belizean, so she's from a whole other culture.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I don't want to seem negative, but the generation before us don't really understand entrepreneurship like that.
Right.
So she thought, she was like, running doesn't pay the bills,
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, man, just stick with me, just believe in me. I gave myself 2 years. And I quit the end of December 2018. So it's March 2020. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good for myself.
Yeah.
But she fought it at first, but now she's come around. Now she comes out to run.
She sure does.
She supports it 100%. It's funny because the other day a girl came to run and she was like, "I met your mom in the gym. She's the one who told me about the run club." I was like, "Oh wow."
That's perfect. Right.
Wow. So shout out to her. She's my biggest supporter. She's everything. It's big for me because coming from where I'm from and knowing what I put her through growing up, to make her happy, to make her proud means so much to me. So
absolutely, absolutely. So those are the 2 leading ladies in your life. And speaking of ladies, you put on a ladies' night for the Run Club, and I know that we come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Saturdays, the regular nights. Why is it important to you to create a special night for the ladies?
For one, in this whole run situation, the women are my biggest, supporters. They show up to everything.
Yeah.
And my thing with everything I do, if you get women to come, men are gonna come. Men are gonna come follow. So, in sport, women are sometimes overlooked. So I want to create a space where they can come together, build bonds with each other, and just not have the distraction of let's say there are men trying to talk to them or whatever. Just come together, work hard, push one another, hold each other accountable in this space.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be the only man running with 40 women. So, it's not a bad look. So,
yeah, speaking of which, makes me think of your costume from a couple years ago. He was literally women's gift
God's
gift to women. Right? Mm-hmm. That was a good one. So also a specialty run that you do is the kids run.
Yes.
And where were you motivated from that? Was it from your daughter or just other things?
I'm really big on just giving back to the youth. I'm really big on fighting childhood obesity.
Nice.
Parents kids nowadays aren't as active as we used to be.
Right.
They're caught up in like the cell phones, the tablets, watching TV, things like that. We all as older individuals, we always say we don't see kids playing outside anymore. So I want to create a space where the kids could come, and I want the parents to be active with the kids as well. So I promote, it's a kids night, but I want the parents to come out and run with the kids, because in sport, a lot of parents, if a kid has football or basketball practice, you just drop them off for an hour and a half, go run an errand or two and come back.
Right.
And so now I just want to create a space where, in this, you're creating memories with your kid. You're building bonds with your kid, because some people don't even interact with their kid like that.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah.
The kids run is a very dope situation. The kids love it, the parents love it. So we're gonna keep pushing.
That's great. So one of your other accomplishments that you recently had that I think was special to you in particular was being able to attend the Duke and North Carolina.
Oh yeah, bucket list.
Yeah.
Bucket
so
list.
Tell me about that. Like, why was that? First of all, why was that special to you, and how did you get access?
I've been a North Carolina Tar Heel fan for as far as I can remember. Michael Jordan is my favorite basketball player. He's a Tar Heel. My fourth grade teacher, Miss Robinson, she went to North Carolina. She'll bring back. She'll give us Tar Heel like clothing and stuff like that, hats or whatever. So I've been hooked, and I've always I'm big into sports. So college rivalries, that's number one on the list for me. I know there's Ohio State, Michigan football.
Yeah.
Alabama, LSU, all that, but North Carolina Duke is number one. So when I heard that I was able to get a ticket to the game, I was doing whatever it took to get there. So
absolutely.
it was absolutely an amazing experience. I know a lot of people in high places, and they hit me up I never even got to go to that game. Right. So it's just so that was number one on my bucket list, and I got to check it off last month.
That's wonderful.
So,
well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So what's next? You got a lot of momentum during Black History Month, which is great. But what's next for you, and how can the people watching out there, how can they support you in maintaining the momentum that you've built up?
What's next for me? Right now, like I said, LA Marathon's coming. I'm training a lot of people for the Nike 13.1.
Okay.
There's so many people run that because it's powered by women, it's driven by women. Everybody can run, but women and girls are falling out of sport at twice the rate as boys are.
Oh, interesting.
So, we're trying to get so many women involved and so many girls involved. So, my mom's even running it. So, that's
her first one.
It's her very first half marathon.
That's great.
That's in the present. That's what's the next thing coming up. But I want to put a community center in the neighborhood I came from.
Okay.
I want to continue to build in my community. Show the kids where I come from that you don't have to play basketball, you don't have to play football to get attention or to make it per se. With this Nike situation has been amazing. It's not what this is not what I set out for, and when I started this, but to have the biggest sportswear brand in the world supporting me, and my neighborhood has been amazing. So I want to show kids that there's other ways out of here.
Yes.
So if you have a passion, pursue it. To continue to push it. I want parents to push their kids to do whatever it is. Don't try to box them in.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I really I want to, continue doing more, just do more. I really want to focus on, especially with the summer coming up, I want to do so many different activities for kids, focus on them this summer.
Good. So. Oh, that's wonderful. So we talked about the kids, and we talked about the community, and your story is just one that I think for entrepreneurs out there, it's really inspirational, just because, we have to work our 9 to 5, especially if we are family people and we have to provide. And it can be very scary to make that plunge, you know. But you did it. And so just being someone who's gone through it, what are some final words of inspiration that you feel comfortable sharing to encourage maybe someone who's watching who's in that boat?
Love what you do. Be yourself. A lot of people, they see somebody else doing something and they kind of want to do that because it's popping for somebody else. You know, be who you are. Be unapologetically who you are at all times.
Yes.
And if people are gonna roll with it, they're gonna roll with it. Cause like me, with this running situation, like with my history, I'm not your typical runner. You know, like so. Some people find it weird not even weird. They just surprised that, you know, like so many things are coming to me just because, you know, they perceive me as like something else because they knew me before running, you know? But like, I continue to be who I am. Like you see my Instagram, like I don't sugarcoat it for anybody, even if Nike's watching, whoever, like I'ma just be who I am. So be who you are. And you know, if people are gonna buy into what you're doing, buy into it. You know? So that's pretty much. And put 2 feet in. Don't toe the line because that could get. That's where, you know, you tend to go with what's safest. You know, because people don't want to take that leap. You know, you
commit fully.
Commit fully because they're so scared of what's on the other side. So, so go, just put 2 feet in and, you know, see what happens.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been awesome talking with you, and thanks for being an inspiration to us all. Yeah, we need that example of Black men, Black fathers, and just men in general.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Jasiriously Speaking. I'm so grateful that you watched, and we will see you next time.